Hello everyone, welcome to Chemistry Atlas. This is the third video of bioinorganic chemistry, and today I'll be talking about myoglobin. So myoglobin is an oxygen storage metalloprotein which helps in the storage of oxygen in the muscles, tissues, etc. This myoglobin comprises of only one heme unit wrapped around a protein chain wrapped around a protein chain. It is important to note that myoglobin comprises of only one heme unit, unlike the hemoglobin which comprises of four heme units. So hemoglobin is known as the tetramer of myoglobin. Talking about the oxygen binding to myoglobin, we have to consider both the deoxy and oxy forms of myoglobin. And as we have discussed in hemoglobin, that in the deoxy form, the iron center is present in +2 high spin oxidation state. Similarly, here also in myoglobin, the iron resides in +2 oxidation state, and when it is oxygenated by oxygen, the iron center converts to Fe2 plus low spin. Here it was in Fe2 plus high spin, and after oxygenation it converts to Fe2 plus low spin. So if we consider the magnetic behavior in both the deoxy and oxy forms, in the deoxy form, as it is in high spin oxidation state, it is paramagnetic, and in the low spin case it is diamagnetic. If we see the d orbital splitting, T2G EZ, for Fe2 plus, there are 6 d electrons which will be arranged as such, and for the low spin case, there will be pairing of the electrons which will result in a diamagnetic species. And this similar concept is also applicable in case of hemoglobin, but in the hemoglobin video I have told that when hemoglobin combines with oxygen, it the Fe2 plus center gets converted to Fe3 plus, but that was my mistake. After oxygenation, the iron center remains in the same oxidation state, only the Fe2 plus center converts from high spin to low spin. So, whenever we inhale oxygen, whenever oxygen is inhaled, the pressure inside the lungs increases. And this is where hemoglobin binds with oxygen and transports it to the various part of our body. After carrying it to the various parts of the body, myoglobin accepts the oxygen from hemoglobin and stores it in the muscles until and unless required for energetic purposes. Hemoglobin binds with oxygen at high pressure conditions and has low affinity at low pressure conditions. So, whenever it reaches the muscles where the pressure is low, it loses its affinity, and myoglobin, which is a oxygen storage metalloprotein, has a high binding affinity to oxygen at low pressure conditions, and so it binds with the oxygen in the muscles and stores it. This whole process can be well explained by the oxygen binding curve. Oxygen binding curve, or also known as the Hill plot. This is a plot between fractional saturation versus oxygen concentration. The fractional saturation indicates the presence of this fractional saturation indicates the number of binding sites that oxygen molecule have, and which may range from 0 to 1. 0 indicates that all the binding sites of oxygen are free, and 1 indicates that all the binding sites of oxygen are filled up. And the oxygen concentration is determined by partial pressure. So, The plot is generally, you can say, percentage saturation is plotted along abscissa and partial pressure is taken in the ordinate. Now, as hemoglobin travels from the lungs to the tissues, the pH value of its surroundings decreases. Now, as hemoglobin travels from the lungs to tissues, the pH value decreases. That is, it moves to acidic conditions and it reacts with more amount of carbon dioxide, which is simultaneously produced by the tissues as they consume oxygen, and this leads hemoglobin to lose its affinity for lose its affinity for oxygen, making it drop the oxygen into the tissues. This is because of the cooperativity effect. As a result, a sigmoidal curve for hemoglobin results. So we generally get a sigmoidal curve for hemoglobin. But as the pressure drops, myoglobin still maintains its high binding affinity for oxygen, making it a better transporter. The hyperbolic curve for myoglobin shows no cooperativity effect of myoglobin. So we get a hyperbolic curve for myoglobin. This sigmoidal curve indicates that when hemoglobin binds with the first oxygen molecule, it has low affinity, but as it combines with three other more oxygens, the binding affinity increases. But for myoglobin, which comprises of only one heme unit, it binds with the oxygen much more tightly, showing an abrupt increase in the plot. So this is all necessary for myoglobin. Now we will look at some previous year's questions. So this is the first question which came in GATE 2009 examination. It says that in the transformation of oxyhemoglobin to deoxyhemoglobin, and these are the options: iron in +2 low spin state changes to iron plus 2 high spin state, and these are all the options. And in the hemoglobin video, we have said that in the deoxyhemoglobin, iron center is present in Fe2 plus high spin oxidation state, and when it is oxygenated, it transforms to Fe2 plus low spin state. So our correct option will be Fe2 plus low spin changes to Fe2 plus high spin. So option A is correct. This is another question. It says that the red color of oxyhemoglobin is mainly due to detransition, metal to ligand charge transfer, ligand to metal charge transfer, or the last one is pi to pi star intraligand transition. So the red color that mainly appears in the oxygenated hemoglobin is mainly due to two electronic transitions intraligand pi to pi star HOMO to LUMO transitions. We get a band at 400 nanometer, which is known as the shorted band, and we get one more band at 450 to 750 nanometer, which is known as the Q band. So our last option is the correct answer. So coming to the next question, it is from GATE 2012. The question says that hemoglobin is an oxygen carrying protein. The correct statement about oxyhemoglobin is that A, metal is low spin in +3 oxidation state while oxygen is in superoxide form. Next option is metal is in high spin +3 oxidation state while oxygen is in superoxide form. Next, metal is in +3 low spin oxidation state and oxygen is in neutral form. And the last is metal is in +3 high spin state and oxygen is in the neutral form. Now, if we talk about oxyhemoglobin, we have the ferrous ion coordinated to the oxygen in a band fashion in this way. Iron center is in +2 low spin oxidation state in oxyhemoglobin, and this can be interconverted to Fe3 plus oxygen, and this oxygen gets converted to the superoxide form when the iron center gives an electron to the oxygen molecule. It gets converted to a superoxide form. So our correct option is A, which says that metal is in low spin +3 oxidation state and oxygen is in superoxide form. Are in +2 low spin oxidation states. So they will have d6 electrons, and if we introduce all the electrons in the respective orbitals, we will see that pairing of electrons will take place. So this leads to a diamagnetic species. So we can say that option B is correct. Next, there is a question from the June 2016 CSIR exam. It says that in absence of bound globin chain, heme group on exposure to oxygen gives the FeO2 species. Now we know that if in a heme group there is no protein chain attached to it, it leads to a hematine. It leads to hematine. So what is the form of hematine? It is a muoxo dimer of ferric ions. So our option A is correct. Next, there is one more question from the June 2017 exam. It says that in vitro reaction of an excess of O2 with free heme B in aqueous medium, the end product is, so these are the options. You can see this is hematine, heme BO2, superoxide iron 3 photoporphyrin, oxoferral photoporphyrin cation radical. So it is said that free heme B unit. So free heme B unit means there is no protein chain attached to it. There is no protein chain attached to it. So if in a heme group there is no protein chain attached to it, it leads to hematine. So our option A is the correct answer. So these were some questions from the previous years, and this is all for the today's video. I hope you liked this video. Please hit a like, share and subscribe. Thank you.